Yeah, good afternoon, students. Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon, all.
Yeah, good afternoon, ma'am. Only 40 students joined, I think. Okay. So we'll just wait for a half a minute. Okay, so I'll start sharing screen. Okay. So I'll quickly go through that whatever I discussed last class so that others will join. Okay. So yesterday we discussed about the what is training, validation and testing. Okay. So when we apply that any machine learning or deep learning algorithms, what we need to do is whatever the data we have, with the help of that data, we need to do the training. Okay, so from the training sample, okay, so we will keep some data for again to check whether it is correctly predicting or not. So that is called as a validation. Okay, so with the trained data itself we are checking whether is it correctly predicting the values or not. So that's a validation samples. Then test samples means with the unseen data we will check whether it's correctly predicting the value or not. That's a test samples. Okay, so how you select that the test samples and the training samples. Okay, so what we do is from the mostly when you get a data set, mostly 75 percentage or 80 percentage we will keep it for training, and the remaining we will use for the testing. Okay, and now only once you do the training with the first 80 samples, the next remaining 20 samples you keep for the testing, and you got very good accuracy, and you and if you're concluding that okay, my model is working fine. Okay, but certain cases if you try with some other test samples, training samples, okay, so sometimes the model may not perform better. So what you need to do is always you need to do the cross validation when you develop a model. Okay, so the accuracy and all the other performance measures when you apply, so you need to do the cross validation. So how you do the cross validation is you need to maybe consider this example. So first 80 you keep for training and the remaining 20, but next iteration you will change the training sample. So the maybe the first 60 and the last 20 you will take for the training, and the middle 20 you keep for the testing, so that it changes in each iteration. You change it. So if it's divided into 10 folds or something, so each time it is changing, and in each iteration you find the accuracy and you find the error rate. Okay, and 10 times if you're doing means finally you need to find the average of that one. Okay, the accuracy and the error rate, you need to find the average. So that will give the real performance measure, that is that will give the real accuracy. Okay, so always you should try to do the cross validation. Okay, so next is we need to understand what is overfitting and underfitting. Okay, so overfitting means hello, yeah, hope everyone can see the slides.
Yes,
Okay,
ma'am.
okay. Okay, so what is overfitting and what is underfitting? Okay, so overfitting means maybe like we are giving more training, okay, and the model, instead of learning, what it does is it is try to memorize. Okay, so in that case what happens is the predictions, finally when we test it, the predictions may go wrong. Okay, so it's like maybe you can consider some people, they will be studying. Okay, so maybe one textbook is given means they will study everything from that textbook. So later whatever we ask from that textbook, sometimes they will be able to write it, but something when we ask from outside the textbook, sometimes they may not be able to write. So why it is like that? Because they are not learning properly. What they are doing, they are trying to memorize. Okay, so from that textbook, so they had studied everything completely from the textbook. If you ask any question, they will be able to write it properly. But from outside that, if any question comes outside the textbook, they may not be able to write. So there, what happened there? Did they learn anything? No, they are trying to memorize, they are trying to by heart that. Okay, so whatever the contents in that textbook, everything they are trying to by heart, they are trying to memorize. Okay, so out of the box if anything is asked means they are not able to write. okay, because the learning has not happened, okay, only memorizing has happened. So in that case we call it as a overfitting, okay. So here also with the entire training samples, it is instead of learning. So when we give rigorous training, what happens is instead of learning, it try to memorize, okay. So what happens is when we do the testing, so training, it will be perfect and there won't be any error, 100% it is accurate, okay. So the same way you can relate with the other examples. So from the textbook anything is asking means they will be able to write it completely. So here also training is perfect. From the training samples, when we ask any, when we give the data, then it will be the 100% accuracy you will be getting, there is no error. But for an unseen data, when we test with an unseen data, what happens, your model fails there, okay. You will be getting so much of error, okay. So there is a training as 100% accuracy it is giving, but in the training when it fails, what happens, that is called as a overfitting, okay. So certain cases when we give rigorous training, instead of learning from that, it try to memorize, okay, and that overfitting happens, okay. And what is underfitting is in certain cases we don't have sufficient data, okay. I'm training with less data and asking it to predict, okay. So in that case the model may fail. So maybe like I'm giving the marks and predicting the grade. So maybe I had given the marks 95, it's O grade, and 85 it is A plus I'm giving. So in between no other samples I didn't give. So later I'm asking marks 90 means which grade. So I had given very less data and I had given the training. So marks 90 means sometimes it may not be able to predict whether it falls in A plus or whether it is in O grade. Okay. So if we give very less data, but if I had given more data, 91 means what grade, 92 means what grade, 89. So again, I'm seeing data 90 when I ask, it may be able to predict it properly. So underfitting means the less data, I had given the training with less data and asking to predict, okay, then the model fails, that is called as a underfitting. So in that underfitting time, there will be large error during training and testing itself, because training time also it may not be able to predict it properly because there is less, it was insufficient data was provided, okay. So yeah. So again, same thing explained here. Overfitting, when it occurs is if learning is performed for long time, okay, for too long, rigorous training or learning process has been applied, then the overfitting can happen, okay. So based on the bias, so now you should understand what is this bias and variance, okay. So then we will look at the samples and how it relate with the overfitting and underfitting, okay. So what is this bias? Bias means it is like a real world or complex problem we are trying to solve with a simple model, okay. The real world scenario or real complex problems we are trying to deal with a simple model. So at that time the error occurred is called as bias. So bias is the amount of error introduced by approximating real world phenomena with a simplified model. And what is variance is when we vary the training data, okay, how much error is occurred, that is called as a variance. When we vary the training data, so I try a different training samples, and what is the error occurred I'm observing, that's called as a variance. So for a perfect model, a good model, we always tell that the bias and variance both are error, right? So both should be less, bias and variance should be less, okay. So now you can look at this one, some data, sample data set, it's given, some sample data, it is visualization is given, okay. So we will look at the first one, okay, the model one. Okay, so the model one, you can see that it's a training data and the down, it is a testing data. For three models are there, how it is performing on the training data and how it is performing on the testing data, we will look at. So you see here, it is a symbol model, right? With the help of a line, with it is trying to classify with the help of a line. It's a linear classification. So with the help of a line, it's trying to separate two classes. Okay, so one is in blue color circle, the other one is represented as crows in red color. So it is a complex, actually it is a complex model, right? Can you separate with the help of a line? No. You see here, here also many data it has come over here in this place. Okay, so with the help of a line, this is a complex problem. Can we do the classification with the help of a simple model, like with the help of a linear classification? Can we do it? No. Okay, but here with the help of a simple model, we are trying to do the classification. So I told you that error, when the error occurred, that is called as a bias. So at this time, what will be the bias? Can you tell me? There will be high or low bias. Can anyone tell? So we are trying to the model what we use, it is a linear classification. Okay, and it's a complex problem. So we try to look at the bias, that means the error occurred. So error occurred, it will be more, right? Because you can see that using the line I'm trying to classify, more blue color things are classified as red, and here also more red color, that data samples, it has been classified as blue. Okay, because this is one class, this is another class. So there is high bias. High bias means error is more, and you can see that how much is the error. We will see that how much is the training error and how much is the testing error. So how much is the training error or training accuracy? It is 77.5%. How much is the testing accuracy? Almost it is same thing only. Okay, so in this case, when we try to model, that is a complex model, we try to solve with a complex problem, we try to solve with a simple model. In that time, high bias can occur, and the variance, that is when we vary the data samples also with the help of the simple model, the same kind of error it will be occur, we will be getting. Okay, so high bias and low variance at this model 1, and we will look at the model 2. So in the model 2, instead of classifying with the help of a line, we use a curve to classify. Okay, so you can see that in the model 2, but it's not trying to fit all the samples. It's not trying to fit, again you can see here, it's not trying to fit this red color sample, again another red color. Okay, so it is a good model. Okay, which is with the help of a curve, it's trying to do the classification. Okay, so in that case, you can see that the bias, that is there won't be high bias, that means there won't be high error, because the complex problem we are not trying to solve with a simple model. Okay, and you can see the error and accuracy. You can see when the training samples, if I vary also, how much will be the error, you can see. So in the case of training, the accuracy is 92.5, and at the time of testing it is 88.7. So at the always at the time of training, that is validation, when you do on the same data, with the same data you are doing the testing, that's called as a validation or the training accuracy. Okay, so the training accuracy, usually it will be more than the testing accuracy or somewhat same. Okay, because on the same data, what you had done the training, on the same data you will do the testing, that's called as a training accuracy, or that's a validation. We are doing the validation here. So here we are doing the testing, so that at the time of testing the accuracy is reduced. Okay, but there is not much difference. So the next one, you can see model 3. So in the model 3, what it is trying to do, it is trying to fit all the models, all the samples. You can see that red color things wherever it is there. So everything, it is trying to fit everything. But now if I change the data samples, instead of the some other data samples, if it is used, what happens? This and this curve shape, will it be able to classify again correctly? It may not. Okay, so when I vary the data samples, the error, it will increase. But in this case, okay, it is not trying to fit all the data samples. Okay, it is a appropriate model which try to classify. There may be some errors, but here you can see whatever the given data samples, it is trying to fit all that red color things. You can see that all that data samples, it is trying to fit. But if I change the data samples and different thing it's given, sometimes it will fail. So more error will occur. That's why here you can see in the model 3, Okay, the overfitting has happened. So when overfitting happens, when you change the training sample, there will be high variance. Okay, so high variance will be there, but the bias is low bias. That means because of the when you use simple model, okay, a symbol, the classifier you are using to for a complex problem, then we call it as a bias will be more. Okay, but in this case it's not a symbol model, it is a complex model itself you had used. Okay, so the bias will be, because of that the error occurred will be less, but the variance will be more. The variance will be more means when I change the training sample, because of that the error, the training samples, when I change, if I use same training sample, then there is no error. Okay, so that from the same textbook, I told you, from the same to the one textbook the person is studying from the same textbook, if you are asking, okay, they will clear the exam. But if I am asking entire thing from outside, if I am twisting and asking, then what happens, they may fail. Okay, so here also it is trying to show that same thing. So model 3, it is overfitting is happening. So when there is an overfitting, high variance will be the bias will be low. But when underfitting happens, the bias will be more and variance will be less. And model 2, you can see in that the bias and variance both will be less. Okay, so same explanation it is given. You can see the definition of bias and variance. So next is what is dropout. Okay, in certain cases, okay, from the neural network, we will drop some neurons. You can see here, this is the neural network architecture. So from that, we are trying to drop a particular neuron. So when we drop a neuron means the inputs coming to that neuron and whatever the outputs coming from that neuron, everything will be dropped out. So why we are doing this dropout? So what is the use of this dropout? Okay, in certain cases what happens is, when we give the training some neurons, okay, it develops a codependency, okay, with other neurons. And what happens, it affects the individual power of that neuron, and that neuron won't be able to perform well. So it will have a codependency with the other neurons, and its individual power will get affected. And what happens is, it will lead to the overfitting. So to avoid the overfitting, what we will do is, we will do the dropout. So when you do your project also, you may have to give that how much is the dropout. Okay, so that you may have to define in your code, you will be defining that one. Okay, so how much percentage you need to give the dropout, so all that things you need to specify in your project when you do your project work, when you design a particular model. Okay, so dropout means it is refers dropping out a particular unit. That means the inputs coming to that neuron and outputs coming from that neuron, everything will be ignored, everything will be dropped out. Okay, so why we use that is to avoid the overfitting. Okay, so that's all these slides. I thought of doing one problem, okay, based on that classification performance. So what you can do is, you can take down this data samples. And if any doubt in this topic, you can ask. Any doubt? Okay. Okay, if no doubt means you can take down this problem, and what you need to do is you find the accuracy. Okay, then precision and recall for class 1, that is for no and yes, precision recall, F1 score. Okay, so you can find everything. So all of you take down this. Okay, so tell me which is true positive. Which is true positive in this?
100.
100. Okay, which is true negative?
50.
50. Okay, which is false positive? That means falsely classified.